The 88th Infantry Division was an infantry division of the United States Army that saw service in both World War I and World War II. It was the first Army of the United States division to be created from scratch after the implementation of the draft in 1940. Previous divisions were either regular Army, Reserve and National Guard. Much of the experience in creating it was used in the subsequent expansion of the U.S. Army. By the end of World War II, the 88th Infantry fought its way to the northernmost extreme of Italy. In early May 1945, troops of its 349th Infantry Regiment joined the 103d Infantry Division of the 6th Corps of the U.S. 7th Army, part of the 6th Army Group, which had raced south through Bavaria into Innsbruck, Austria, in Vipitino in the Italian Alps. World War I, activated the 5th of August 1917, Camp Dodge, Iowa. Overseas the 7th of September 1918. Major operations did not participate as a division. Casualties total 78. Commanders: Marge, Gen. Edward H. Plummer, Brig. Gen. Robert N. Getty. Marge, Gen. Edward H. Plummer, Brig. Gen. Robert N. Getty. Brig. Gen. William D. Beach. Marge, Gen. William Weigel, and activated the 10th of June 1919, Camp Dodge, Iowa. World War II, called to active service the 15th of July 1942, Camp Gruber, Oklahoma. Overseas the 6th of December 1943. Distinguished Unit Citations: 3. Campaigns: Romano, North Apennines, Po Valley. Days of Combat: 344. Awards: Medal of Honor 3, Distinguished Service Cross -40, Distinguished Service Medal -2, Silver Star 522, Legion of Merit 66, Soldiers Medal 19, Bronze Star Medal -3784. Unit Citations: 3rd Battalion, 351st Infantry Regiment. 2nd Battalion, 350th Infantry Regiment. 2nd Battalion, 351st Infantry Regiment. Commanders: Marge, Gen. John E. Sloan. Marge, Gen. Paul W. Kendall. Brig. Gen. James C. Fry. Marge, Gen. Brian Moore, and activated the 24th of October 1947 in Italy. Combat Chronicle first entered combat. Advance party on night of 3 to 4 January 1944 in support of Monte Cassino attacks. 1st Organization committed to line. 2nd Battalion, 351st Infantry Regiment plus attachments. First combat fatality, the 3rd of January 1944. Began post-war POW command, the 7th of June 1945. Responsible for guarding and later repatriating 324,462 German POWs. The 88th Infantry Division was one of the first all-draftee divisions to enter the war. Formed at Camp Gruber, Oklahoma, the division arrived at Casablanca, French Morocco, the 15th of December 1943, and moved to Magenta, Algeria, on the 28th for intensive training. Destined to spend the war fighting on the Italian front, the 88th Division arrived at Naples, Italy, the 6th of February 1944, and concentrated around Piedimonte du Life for combat training. An advance element went into the line before Cassino, the 27th of February, and the entire unit relieved British elements along the Garigliano River in the Minturno area, the 5th of March. A period of defensive patrols and training followed. On the 11th of May, the 88th drove north to take Spigna, Mount Civita Italia, Itri, Fondi, and Roccagorga, reached Anzio the 29th of May, and pursued the enemy into Rome, being the first unit of the U.S. Fifth Army, of which the 88th formed a part, into the city on the 4th of June, after a stiff engagement on the outskirts of the city. An element of the 88th is credited with being first to enter the Eternal City. After continuing across the Tiber to Basanello, the 88th retired for rest and training. The 11th of June, the division went into defensive positions near Pomerance. The 5th of July, and launched an attack toward Volterra on the 8th, taking the town the next day. Laetico fell on the 11th, Villamagna on the 13th, and the Arno River was crossed on the 20th, although the enemy resisted bitterly. After a period of rest and training, the division opened its assault on the Gothic line, the 21st of September 1944, and advanced rapidly along the Fianzuola-Imola road, taking Mount Battaglia on the 28th. The enemy counterattacked savagely and heavy fighting continued on the line toward the Po Valley. The strategic positions of Mount Grande and Farneto were taken, 20 and the 22nd of October. From the 26th of October 1944 to the 12th of January 1945, the 88th entered a period of defensive patrolling in the Mount Grande, Mount Seriri sector and the Mount Farno area. For the 24th of January to the 2nd of March 1945, the division defended the Loiano-Livorno area and after a brief rest returned to the front. The drive to the Po Valley began on the 15th of April. Monteramici fell on the 17th after an intense barrage, and the Po River was crossed the 24th of April as the 88th pursued the enemy toward the Alps. The cities of Verona and Vicenza were captured on the 25th and 28th, and the Brenta River was crossed the 30th of April. The 88th was driving through the Dolomite Alps toward Innsbruck, Austria, where it linked up with the 103rd Infantry Division. When the hostilities ended on the 2nd of May 1945, the unit was in combat for 344 days and sustained 15,173 casualties. Units associated, assigned or attached to the division during World War II included 349th Infantry Regiment, 350th Infantry Regiment, 351st Infantry Regiment, 337th Field Artillery Battalion, 338th Field Artillery Battalion, 339th Field Artillery Battalion, 913th Field Artillery Battalion, 313th Combat Engineer Battalion, 313th Medical Battalion, 752nd Tank Battalion. Post-war. After the war, the 88th Infantry Division absorbed some personnel and units from the 34th Infantry Division and served on occupation duty in Italy guarding the Morgan Line from positions in Italy and Trieste until the 15th of September 1947, when the Italian peace treaty came into force. The 351st Infantry was relieved from assignment to the division on the 1st of May 1947 and served as temporary military government of the Free Territory of Trieste, securing the new independent state between Italy and Yugoslavia on behalf of the United Nations Security Council. Designated trust, the command served as the front line in the Cold War from 1947 to 1954, including confrontations with Yugoslavian forces. In October 1954, the mission ended upon the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding of London establishing a temporary civil administration in the Anglo-American zone of the Free Territory of Trieste, entrusted to the responsibility of the Italian government. Trust units which included a number of 88th Divisional support units. All-Boer Unit Patch, which was the coat of arms of the Free Territory of Trieste, superimposed over the divisional quatrefoil, over which was a blue scroll containing the designation Trust in white. The division shoulder patch is worn by the United States Army Reserve 88th Regional Readiness Command. However, the division lineage is not perpetuated by the 88th RRC. According to the United States Army Center of Military History, RRCs such as the 88th have the same number as inactivated divisions and are allowed to wear the shoulder patch, but division lineage and honors are not inherited by an RRC, which is not considered as a successor to a division. General shoulder patch, a blue quatrefoil, formed by two Arabic numeral 8s. A rocker above it with the nickname Blue Devils was often worn. During World War II, the Germans thought the 88th was an elite stormtrooper division. This was most likely due to parallels between the Blue Devil nickname and patch rocker and the German SS's use of the Totenkopf Death's Head insignia. The Get